Hi, everybody. My name is Diego. I'm the program manager of curriculum here at Landel. And in this video, we are going to be talking about how to become a better speaker for debate. I feel like a lot of people think that this is something that comes naturally or just something that like you can't really like just practice or try doing, that it's something that it's innate within certain people that just some people won't have. Not true. Becoming a better speaker for debate just comes with practice. And as long as you do enough practice, your speaker points will go up and what I will be sharing are just tips that I would coach students through when I coached at Huntington Park High School. But these are also things that I did when I was in college as well to become a better speaker. So, with that being said, roadmap of this is going to be first practice drills that you can do. Second, regular speeches, just pieces of advice that I have, things to keep in mind while you're giving these speeches. And then third, the intangibles. I'm gonna air quotes intangibles. Anybody can become a good speaker. There's no such thing as just people who innately have it. So first, let's talk about practice drills. Practice makes perfect in the same way that card cutting or highlighting files, trying to figure out what makes an argument good or not. In the same way that comes to practice, good speaking, good public speaking comes through practice as well. As you move up in debate, from rookie to novice to JV to varsity, and even within in varsity, if you want to get to the higher levels, as you move up in debate, you are expected to answer more arguments and be faster. I don't necessarily mean speaking fast, but it more so in the sense that you have to be able to answer arguments more quickly given that the meta is people try to drown out other people by speaking faster. So you're going to have to learn how to handle that. Part of that comes with practicing your speaking ability. But if you do decide to go fast, which is what a lot of people end up trying to do in varsity, going fast without practice leads to people being unclear, unflowable, and just unpersuasive. It kind of sounds where if you're not practicing your public speaking, if you're not practicing speaking drills, you can go as fast as you want, but you're just gonna sound like zzz, like a fly. It's like annoying or a mosquito. Um, so yeah, you want to practice your speaking because if not, if you're unclear, it's just not going to be fun. It's not going to be fun for the opponent because they don't know what they're arguing against. It's not going to be fun for the judge because they don't know what to write down. So it's not going to be fun for you because it makes it so that all that work you put in to get of the 20 arguments on the flow, maybe the judge caught like six or seven. I don't know. That means speaking drills are a must, so make sure you practice. Okay. Putting things into perspective, let's take a look at why I think speaking drills are just like extremely important if you want to make sure you win rounds, but also sound good while doing it. Ideally, your elim day on a Lambeau tournament, whether that's Saturday or Sunday, should be 4 rounds, which is round three, round four, semifinals, finals. To break it down even more, one round, you have to give one constructive speech, one rebuttal speech, one cross-examination speech. That is 16 minutes total of speaking. Times that by four, and that is 64 minutes of speaking. That is you speaking for an entire hour and 4 minutes across the day if you are able to do 4 rounds. If you are not practicing your speaking drills, you are not going to be able to handle all of this. By the end of the day, you're going to sound tired. By the end of the day, your words are going to be slurred more. By the end of the day, you're just not going to sound good if you're not practicing. Um, because of that, I have this list of 10-minute speaking drills that are extremely easy to do. It is literally 10 minutes of your day. You could do this during practice. You can open up a practice session with speaking drills every day. At least 5 days a week is what I recommend. You can do them at your house. You could do them anywhere. 10 minutes. Like most of us are on our phones more. Like you can do 10 minutes. If you can't do 10 minutes, then I don't know, you might like there's an issue there, to be honest. Like if you want to win debates, if you want to try and do your best in the debates, you can do 10 minutes. Um, Starts with 3 minutes of regular speaking. By regular, I just mean how you would normally sound in a debate round, right? Establish your base going into your speaking drills. Second should be one word in between. You're emphasizing clarity here, making sure that we can hear every single word. If a judge could flow you at that very moment, can they get down every single word you're writing down? So, a word in between, you could put a word that emphasizes like a vowel. So, nature, like nature emphasizes the A. Um, Third, 1 minute overemphasizing or clarity drill. So this is where your mouth should be open. It should be emphasizing clarity again. A lot of these drills are clarity focused because it doesn't matter how fast you go if the judge can't write down all the words that you are saying. So when I mean by overemphasizing, I literally mean saying like instead of saying clarity, you're saying clarity. And you're going really slow for that overemphasizing drill. After that, 1 minute backwards. So you're reading from right to left, bottom to top. So if this was a piece of evidence that you were reading, you would start by saying, for example, on this slide, speaking regular minutes, 3, 6, can you, and so forth. Uh, After that, you want to do 1 minute as fast as you can. At the end of the day, if you want to get fast, you'll see that your speed gradually increases over time. If you do it more than that, like I honestly don't think it's going to help you in what you think it's helping you with. Because like let's say you spend the majority of your time practicing going fast, doesn't matter. You're going to be unclear. Nobody's going to understand what you're saying. Clarity above speed is most important. You'll see that that even matters for a lot of judge paradigms as well. 3 minutes regular speaking to end it all off. By the end of that, your first 3 minutes of regular speaking should sound worse compared to your last one because after that, you're warmed up, you're ready to start your practice, you're ready to start the tournament. I recommend that if you do 10 minutes of speaking drills consistently, you will see improvement over time. You can always put up the minutes. You can always go from 10 to 15, 15 to 20. It all depends on what your commitment to the debate is and what you are trying to accomplish. I think, again, if you do 10 minutes, you should be good. You should be making improvement over time. But I do know certain people who have gone over that. So, for example, there's a lot of college debaters who spend maybe 20 to 30 minutes per day. But again, that's a whole different level of commitment. You don't need to do all that. All right, let's talk about regular speeches. Some pieces of advice I have when to consider becoming a better speaker for each different type of speech. So, 1AC and 1NC. If you give any of these speeches, you are bound to if your partnership is split as a person who is a 1 and 2A and a 2N and 1A. Uh, Whoever gives the first constructive speech for the affirmative or negative side. It's just 8 minutes of cards and maybe a couple of analytics, like arguments that are cards somewhere scattered in there. The most the judge is asking you is to just be clear. Like, obviously, you're going to go fast trying to get through the evidence. As long as you're clear on the taglines, as long as you are modulating your speed, you're going slower on tags, you're indicating to the judge that you are now reading evidence that they don't need to 100% write down by going a little faster, by giving the judge pen time to make sure they're able to write down what you just said. The most they're asking you is to be clear. If you want them to pay attention to the arguments and understand them, you have to slow down a little bit. 2AC and 2NC speeches, so second constructive speeches. Debates expand here. They don't just become about the cars, but they talk about comparison between evidence. They talk about comparison between analytics, those types of things. A lot of judge instruction is being given in these speeches. Judges are looking for line by line and signposting. So with line by line and signposting, announcing what part of the debate you're on, line by line, answering the arguments in the order that they come in for the opponent. You want to make sure you try to answer arguments in the order they come in. So extend previous arguments. This is a way that you can engage in effective line by line. So let's say the first argument on your opponent's side is a no solvency argument. You're affirmative, they presented a no solvency argument against your plan. In order to engage in effective line by line, you would signpost by saying, answering the first argument from the negative. Maybe you want to give it a label. Answering the first no solvency argument from the negative. One, extend this argument from the 1AC that answers this already. Second, their evidence is bad. You compare with the opponent's argument. And then third, read new evidence only if necessary. It's a very simple way of engaging in effective line by line. Um, yeah, I would do that. Becoming a better speaker is not just about the way you present yourself or the way you're speaking to the judge, but it's also about your organization in the round. And so speaking drills, flowing, learning which parts of the debate matter, all of these things are going hand in hand. All right, 1AR, tips for becoming a better speaker. No judge will expect the 1AR to answer 13 minutes of the 2NC/1NR. It's impossible. You can't answer that much from a negative block. So judges are looking for 1ARs to collapse down to the AV's best arguments and make the 2NR's job difficult. Think of it like a bullet point speech. Prioritize your three best arguments across each flow and then answer the negative arguments. Again, you're kind of like modulating the line by line there. You're kind of changing the order up, but again, this is a place where the judges understand why it's happening and it helps them understand what the key issues are at the end of debate. Uh, the best 1 AR speeches prioritize their offense on each page and then line by line the blocks arguments in a bullet point manner, which is just what I said. Okay, last rebuttals. You should, your ultimate priority, if you want to be a better speaker in last rebuttals, is to display a good sense of round vision. We're about like an hour in. We got about maybe 20 minutes left of the debate. The judge has a lot of stuff down on their paper or their computer, depending on where they're flowing. They got to figure out what to do with it. Uh, Judges are lazy. They're going to go with the easiest possible decision for them. The way you make that decision easy for them is with good senses of round vision, so you can give really good instruction to the judge. So you should identify the core issues of the debate and resolve them in your favor at the very top of the speech. So identify maybe the three big issues in the debate. First, identify an argument that you are for sure winning and explain why that specific argument wins you the entire debate. So if you're the affirmative and the negative is just behind on the solvency question of the WNEC, you would say, one, you are winning the solvency debate. That matters because it's the core question of any debate. Is the 1EC a good idea or not? Second thing you need to do is explain what the opponent is messed up on and why that means that they can never come back, why they can never win. You're affirmative. The negative dropped the ball on their case turn argument. They dropped the ball on it. Here's why they lose. You want to give a reason on what the opponent has done wrong. Third, after that, you want to be able to explain here's what the other side should have done in order to win the debate, but here's why they won't because they didn't end up doing it. You want to show that you have a good sense of what happened in this round. With that being said, another way to think about this is you should be setting the stakes. So if you say, if we win X argument, then we win the entire debate because blank. You should be using sentences like that because it's stuff for the judge to write down and it creates conditions for a win for either side. It makes the judge really easy to resolve for the judge. If they're following your roadmap, ideally they're going to vote for you because you're saying those conditional statements on the idea that you are winning those things in the first place. Uh, Explain the only way your opponent can win and shut the door on them. So you want to tell the judge the only way they can win is if they do this thing, but that is not possible because whatever they did that messed up their trajectory. If you do that, you're putting it in the judge's head. You're giving them that easy way of like explaining to the opponent, yeah, you could have done this according to them, and here's why you just didn't do it. Um, it should be a large overview at the top of your rebuttal. So your rebuttal should not sound like a constructive speech. It should not sound like you are just extending arguments without comparing. Your rebuttal is meant for you to frame the debate and then clean up the rest of the flow. So I think that a long overview that establishes all of these things, about 2 minutes max, is pretty good, followed by efficient line by line. Okay, the intangibles, but psych, they're not actually intangibles. There are many different speaking styles that make some that can all contribute to being a better speaker. So everybody can practice going fast and being techie. Everybody can do that, but persuasiveness matters just as much. How you say something is just as important as how organized you are. So I'm not looking for a robot in a speech. I'm looking for someone who has voice inflections, who can show that they understand what parts are more important, who can show that they know when to slow down, when to speed up, all those things. All of those things contribute to being a good speaker. So slowing down on key moments. If you know you are going to win this debate on a specific argument, you want to make sure the judge gets down every single one of your words. Use vocal inflections. Adjust your tone for certain arguments. Performance, your voice, the type of gestures that you're doing in the round, reading the room, all of those things can contribute to being a good speaker. Now, that does not mean that everybody has to communicate the same way or even that everybody receives that message the same way. It's more about what can you do to put yourself in the best position possible. And that comes with experience, right? You might be thinking like, well, I don't really know like in the moment what those things are. It comes with time. It just does. It's just something that you have to be able to pick up as time goes on. And you will, uh, as long as you put the effort in. Okay. Like I said, there are a bunch of debaters that have been really good speakers and they don't all sound the same. So these are a couple of different debaters that I think were good speakers and they like all of them had a bunch of like really good trophies in their college career. Um, I recommend checking any of these out. If you search up their team code plus debate, you'll find a video of them. This kind of just describes what I found notable about their speaking styles, and I thought all of them were pretty good. Um, I don't think Cameron has a link. RIP, no link for Cameron, but if you know, you know. Um, all right. That has been it. Remember, find your voice. Do not try and imitate what others sound like. Just because there's a guideline for what becoming a good speaker is, does not mean that there's a uniform standard. Uh, so find your voice. Find out what makes you you in terms of your debate speaking, and get good at that. Do consistent speaking drills. Practice. Hope you found some of this useful. And yeah.